All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. This lesson is going to be titled, the longer that we're in this flesh, the more we should realize, all right, that we should be, that we need deliverance, okay? And that we need mercy from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right? Because at the end of the day, we are in this corruptible, situation where we're helpless, man, without the Lord, all right? And people don't realize that, if we don't have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we just suffering, as evildoers, like the scriptures say. Matter of fact, I'll start off with that. I'm gonna go back to this in Isaiah 41, but scriptures say not to suffer as evildoers. Let's see here. All right, this is 1 Peter. Let me see, bro. Start First Peter chapter 3 and verse 17. It says, "For it is better, if the will of the Most High be so, that ye suffer for well doing than for evil doing." Because that's the common denominator of being on this earth, okay, is that you are going to catch hell. You're going to feel pain. You're going to get infirmities, okay? I mean, if you don't get beamed up into the chariots, you're not gonna, eventually you're gonna die. We have to be changed from these bodies, man, in order to receive the salvation, all right, that everybody talks about, okay? And so, verse 18, right, it says, and by the way, how do we suffer for well-doing, like it says in verse 17? Because if you get persecuted for preaching the word, right, then at least, you're doing a good thing, which is preaching the word. You know what I'm saying? You're getting persecuted for pushing the vibration of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That makes us happy, because we're going to catch hell anyway. And guess what? The faster that we get out of here, the better. You know what I mean? So let's say, for example, the Lord make you a martyr. Shit. If he make you a martyr, then he put the spirit on you to be one, and to endure whatever it is that you got to go through. Okay. All right. Up until the death. Matter of fact, I got this Job 40 on deck, but I want to get 1 Corinthians 13, and I believe around the 10th verse. No, hold on. Is it, let me see. I might got it mixed up. Is it 10? Yeah, 10 and 13. Salaki. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, 1 Corinthians 10 and 12. All right. It says, "Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed." It says, "Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed, lest he fall." And the NLT on the right side, it says, "If you think you are standing strong, be careful not to fall." Yeah, because, you can think that, you're rooted in this truth, and, that you're not going to go nowhere, right? But the only one that can determine that is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So that's where prayer comes in. You see? Because at the end of the day, we are all unprofitable servants. There ain't nothing inherently special about us other than the spirit that the Lord gave to us, man. All right, and our compatibility with the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai on this earth, even in these fleshly bodies, even in these vessels, that are temporary. Okay, we're amongst the wicked of this world, and the more that you're in this world, the more you realize you don't belong here, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like that men of old, they were like, "Yo, this is whack." They looked at the situation as like of our people, how we just embarrassed ourselves in front of the Lord. You know what I mean? We, brought shame, all right, upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai amongst the heathens with our actions. You know, you look at certain prophets and they're just, lamenting that we had to go through all the stuff that, it really could have been avoided if we just got right. You see, so the Lord has you in a situation you wondering why, man, I'm so uncomfortable. Well, guess what? You and me and everybody else, on this earth, okay, are suffering because of our transgressions. Okay, what makes Israel different from all the other sons of, Adam, is that the promise of and the covenant, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that was passed down, all right, to those that line, that seed, okay, the descendants of Jacob, okay. Anyway, 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. Okay, think about that. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So what are we supposed to be doing? Okay, praying to Yahweh Shemel Shai, Baruch Shai, Yahweh Shemel Shai, keep my spirit strong. Baruch Shai, Yahweh Shemel Shai, give me the spirit to endure whatever temptations, whatever trials come my way. Baruch Shai, Yahweh Shemel Shai, increase my faith to be able to do what it is that I'm supposed to do here on this earth. Because if you don't think, that the Lord is able to use you, then you don't have any faith. You want to be used by Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, for righteousness, okay. It says, but the Lord is not going to allow you to be tempted above. He's not going. If you're of the elect, all right, your limit of pain or whatever it is, He's not going to let you go. Experience anything above what you're able to go through at that particular time. But guess what? Over time, you get more rooted, and more of the spirit gets on you. And, the Lord's going to present harder situations, harder tests over time. The stuff that you go through, when you first come into the truth may seem hard, but once you spend some time in this truth, you get used to it. You know what I mean? You get used to the hell. You get used to, uncomfortable, whatever. Okay? Because you understand that there's a greater, you're sacrificing this for the greater good. Okay. It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Okay. So when the Lord push you through something, okay, just because you're uncomfortable, oh, I'm uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable in that moment. Guess what? You still in the truth, right? Do you still believe? Are you so uncomfortable that you're gonna let Satan convince you that, you know, you're not able to be delivered? That you don't got the spirit on you no more. That you can't still win? Nah, man. Okay, you got to sacrifice, bro. You know what I mean? It takes sacrifice. Yahweh sacrifice. Think about Yahweh. Think about Yahweh, man. What he did for us. You know, he finished the mission, man. Okay? We got to finish the race. Okay? Let's get that real quick. We got to finish the race too. Because I mean, honestly, we started it. If we don't finish it, then we are a disgrace to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and 1. It says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, okay, which that cloud of witnesses isn't just people here, on earth, but also the angels. The angels are watching, reporting back to the Lord what's going on. You know what I mean? Every day is recorded, man. Every hour is recorded. Every thought, okay? And our deeds are being weighed in the balance, okay? If we have faith, bro, your actions are going to show it, okay? Every camp, every lesson, every fellowship that you do, with a brother, these are all things that please Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay? Every Sabbath that you honor, okay? Every time that you abstain from the flesh for the sake of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, those are things that add, to your benefit, to your credit, okay? Show the Lord that you actually care about getting up out of here. Because guess what? If you just idle and you just, indifferent about being delivered, then guess what? Your ass gonna stay here and you will suffer. You will suffer. And that's going into suffering as an evildoer. Because you being in this flesh, you're gonna do evil things. Because this flesh is wicked. Okay, that's why we got to get out of this flesh. That should be the goal, to get out of the flesh. Okay, we want to get out of this flesh, man. Okay, and if you so stuck on the flesh to where you're not willing to give it up and everything that you got in this flesh, then you're gonna stay in the flesh. And guess what? The flesh is gonna get destroyed. Okay, and it may not be quick. It may be slow and painful. Okay, so our goal is to get out of this flesh. Okay, this is continuing on in the middle of verse 1. It says, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us. You see, because going off that shit, it consumes time. It's unprofitable. It says in the NLT that it slows us down. You got to strip off every weight that slows us down. Okay. It says especially in the NLT, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. Just reading it in the NLT on the right hand side. Yeah, man, that sin will trip you up. You running a race and you trip. Guess what? You got time added to your marathon now. You know what I'm saying? You might fall. You got to get back up and still finish the race, right? So let go of that the weight of this world. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the King James Version, it says, "And the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." Okay? It's an endurance thing. It's an endurance thing, okay? And we got to understand that coming into this truth. Okay? I want to go back. I know I had Isaiah 40. Did I have it here? Yeah. And no, it was Isaiah 41. I'm sorry. Get that real quick. Was it 41 and like 14? Yep. Isaiah 41 and 14. It says, "Fear not, thou worm, Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai." So, man, there's gonna come a time, if it hasn't come already, if that time hasn't come already, there's gonna come a time where you realize that I'm utterly helpless. I'm nothing without Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You should already know that. If you don't know that by now, then you got demons on you. You know what I mean? And you gotta get rid of them demons. You gotta fight those evil thoughts, because that ain't nothing but Satan trying to get you to give up your spot on a chariot. Yahushua said, what profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So why would we want to care about anything more than this truth, when nothing in this world can ever amount to anything more than vanity? Don't you get it? Everything here is vain, man. We just on this earth, wiggling around, fulfilling the lust of our flesh, if we not doing anything conducive to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the Lord doesn't have no pleasure in that. Be honest, he you know what I mean? He put us here to be a representation of him on the earth. So you just living your whole life thinking that you here to do your own thing. The Lord gonna hit the reset button on your ass. Anybody that thinks like that. And it's 2026. The Lord ain't playing around. Okay? Without warning, earthquakes are coming upon the tribes, in Venezuela, various other parts of the earth. You know what I mean? People catching hell. But they still don't want to turn to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? And so that's why the Lord's going to turn up the heat. He's going to crank the heat up, all right, from 300 to 350, then from 400 or 350 to 400, 400 to 425. You know what I'm saying? Once you get that heat up to 425, shit starts getting real. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to just continue to increase the evils. The Lord is going to allow for the evils to continue to increase on the earth until the wicked are just consumed. You see? And we have to be willing to, endure, okay, and also stand up for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I'm going to get this also. I had it, was it Job? Job chapter 40. And this is Job chapter 40 and verse 4. It says, actually I started at verse 1, excuse me. "Moreover, the Lord Yahweh answered Job and said, Shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him?" Yeah, you're gonna plead your cause with the Lord and tell him what to do. Nah, that's not how it works, man. We are the creation, don't you? We're not the highest. We're not the highest form of existence. Okay, we got Yahweh Shai over us, and the Most High over Yahweh Shai. Okay, so we better understand our rank and file, and then even amongst men, you got certain men that the Lord set to be over you. Certain men that are over me, and you shouldn't despise that, because that's order, man. Okay, that's the orderly a way that things should be. And the scriptures say, do all things in decency and in order. Okay, let all things be done in decency and in order, man. So disorderly conduct minded individuals, they're not gonna make it. Look at excuse me, look at Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. You see, they were taken out, trying to start up a rebellion against Moses. So the Lord, he don't have no pleasure in that, right? It says, he that reproveth the Most High, let him answer it. Yeah, you trying to plead your case. You trying to, present a case against the Lord like he's not a righteous judge. Nah, man. Any hell you catching, guess what? You got to obey. You better acknowledge it. You better acknowledge it to Yahweh Shem Shai, and let it be known, hey, Lord, this is my fault. Baba Kwashah, which is please in Hebrew. Baba Kwashah, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Most High, in the name of your Son, heal me, bless me, have mercy upon me. Okay? These are all things that keep us humble, man. You see, so we don't get too proud. Okay? It says, verse 3, then Job answered the Lord and said, behold, I am vile. Okay? Job acknowledged his imperfections, his shortcomings. Because guess what? I'm just a man in the flesh. We're feeble, man. We can get dusted off by a damn animal. Disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that can just make this life a living hell. It's just better to be in the spirit world. But we got a job to do. So we pray to Yahweh Shem Shai to keep the spirit strong on us so we can finish the job, man. Don't get too far off track. You know what I mean? Don't get too far. Don't wander too far off, into the city, forgetting that you on duty. Like a soldier wandering off base. All right, don't let yourself get in that spirit, man, of abandoning your post. You better report in. Okay. Scriptures talk about how we are soldiers, okay, of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And we're not supposed to be getting entangled with the affairs of this world. Okay? Yeah, we in the world, we use it, but we don't abuse it. We don't abuse it. Okay? We don't misuse it, is what that means. Don't abuse it or misuse it, because it's just a tool. Okay, it's a tool. We here temporarily on this earth, but guess what? We gotta see about the Most High at the end of the day, at the end of this life. Okay, so we should keep him on the forefront here on the earth, in the forefront of our minds. All right, Job 40:4, it says, behold, I am vile. What shall I answer thee? I will lay my hand upon my mouth. You see that? So you just got to know when just to shut the hell up. Let Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai teach you a lesson. Teach me a lesson. Teach us a lesson, man. You know what I mean? When you're getting reproved, bro, by the Lord, you better humble down. You better pray, fast, whatever it is that you need to do to get in tune with the Spirit, because the Lord, he about to start. Well, he ain't even about to start. He's already started judging. Okay? He not playing no games. So, I don't know if I got all the scriptures that, those were the two main ones that I wanted to get, you know what I'm saying? The ones that I started off with. So I think that's good right there. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, Abaratazah, this is edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and those a great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.